Okay. Um, Trying out a new hairstyle. This is my Goku Super Saiyan hairstyle. Everyone's gonna be copying this in a few months, weeks, because I'm that popular. I'm so popular that people will copy it within seconds and days. True story. Um, so I just do new hairstyles like Rachel Green in Friends always has a new hairstyle and everyone copies it, except um not except by every season she has a new hairstyle. I do it by the day or weeks and it gets popular like that. I'm very popular everywhere I go. So I want to tell the story of my life as short as possible. It's like a draw my life, but I'll do it verbally. So I was born March 28th, 1987, um, in Tucson, Arizona, and I moved to Stockton, California when I was a baby. I don't remember it. I have pictures, but I don't remember it. So I grew up. I was born in Tucson, Arizona, but I grew up in Stockton, California. So Stockton, California is mostly what I know. Um, I went to preschool when I was 3 with my sister Tao. Um, and it was Head Start preschool. So I went to preschool when I was 3. Um, or is it 4? And then I went to kindergarten at John R. Williams. I think it was John R. Williams around 5, right? You're in kindergarten when you're 5, I think. And then and then I stayed at John R. Williams in Stockton until second grade. I think mid semester. It goes by quarters, but semester is 2 quarters. By mid second grade, our family decided to move to Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. So I just told everyone that I'm moving, and the teachers in the class was kind of prepared for me moving, and my mom came in while I was in class to pull me out, and my teacher, I think it was Mrs. Young, she was like, "Everyone say bye to Min. He's moving." So I got out of class. So my mom came in, took me out of class. So we moved to Boulder, Colorado, for my second grade for the to finalize my second grade, and we only stayed there for the remaining 2 quarters of my second grade. We went to Bear Creek, Bear Creek. I think it was just called Bear Creek, but I think it was an elementary school, Bear Creek Elementary. So we stayed in Colorado for only the 2 quarters of my second grade. It was I like Colorado. It was the first time I saw snow. So we moved. So that was my time there, and then I moved back to Stockton, my third grade, and this time I went to Lincoln Elementary, um, the Lincoln Unified School District. John R. Williams is a Stockton Unified School District, so there's different districts depending on where you live. So a lot of times you have trouble when you live in one district and you want to be in another school, which we had that problem. So when you go to one district, they want you to go to school in that district in Stockton. That's how it works. So we lived in a Lincoln Elementary district, so we went to Lincoln Elementary instead of John R. Williams because they're both elementary schools. So we went. I went to Lincoln Elementary for my third grade. That's where I met Mrs. Wright. Mrs. Wright is really cool with me. I just remember she always gave us kisses, the Hershey kisses. Like she had a jar up really high, and I would stare at it every time, every day. I would just stare at it. I just wanted kisses, and it was just like treats. You get treats when you're doing well. So Mrs. Wright was really cool. Lincoln Elementary was really cool. I stayed at Lincoln Elementary all the way to sixth grade. So 3 more years. I stayed there all the way to sixth grade, fourth, fifth, and then sixth. I enjoyed my time at Lincoln Elementary. There was always the celebration at the end of the year. That was really cool. I met really cool people. The teachers were really cool. My experience was really fun. There I met a lot of friends, girls that I liked. As if you watch my videos, you know, meeting Jessica or Brittany or um, I think those are the main two girls that I liked in elementary school. It was Jessica and Brittany. Brittany was in sixth grade. Um, so so yeah, I was there for 3 years. I had Mr. Tharp in fourth grade, Mr. Tejano in fifth grade. So Mrs. Wright, Mr. Tharp, Mr. Tejano, and Mrs. Bazano in sixth grade. So I graduated. I graduated from Lincoln Elementary. It was a fun time. Um, it was scary. Now I'm going into seventh, eighth grade. I'm going to a place that to new friends. It was a school I already know. I'm going back to John R. Williams because John R. Williams goes from kindergarten all the way up to seventh and eighth grade. Lincoln Elementary goes from kindergarten all the way up to six. So it stops at six. So I went to John R. Williams. So this is out of district. So I think I still live in Lincoln District, but I needed to go to a seventh, eighth grade school. So I went to John R. Williams. And my time there was fun. I started breakdancing. That's when I began breakdancing with my Cambodian friends. It was scary. There was school dances. I wasn't used to that, and it was fun time. There's bullying, of course, the popular kids, the pretty kids, right? Like I didn't do anything. People just know me, and he's pretty, and I get bullied for it. Um, but I was okay. I was a tough kid. It's just it's growing pains for me. That's how I see it. I don't see it as dangerous. I just see it's growing pains. It's okay. So I dealt with bullying because I was pretty popular. I wasn't outgoing, but I was popular with my friend group, and that um people took notice of that. Like I was really outgoing with my friends, and people took notice. And I was very popular with the teachers. Everyone in seventh, eighth grade, everyone knows each other because you become a group. Seventh and eighth grade, you become a like it's us against the world. So teachers know you, your friends know you. It was a fun time. That's I remember puberty kicking in sixth grade. My voice got deeper. I was like, whoa. And puberty really kicked in seventh and eighth grade, where you're very self conscious. Like you gotta have new clothes every school year, and you gotta wear the right shoes and things like that. But it was fun. It was fun. Um, so that was seventh and eighth grade at John R. Williams. And then again, we still live in Lincoln Unified School District, so we went to Lincoln High School instead of Stagg or Chavez, I think. So wherever you're are living, you want to go to that school district school. So we still live in Lincoln Elementary, so we went to Lincoln High School. Um, I don't think Lincoln had a middle school. I don't think Lincoln Unified had a middle school. So you had to go elsewhere. So um, the more popular um, middle school was Brookside. Those are the very smart kids. They went to Brookside. I didn't go there. That's where my friend Alex went. Alex Raynon, he went to Brookside. So high school is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. I went to Lincoln High School throughout my 4 years of high school. It was a fun time. It was, again, just growing pains. It's a bigger school. You're not as popular. So I was pretty popular from elementary going to middle school because it was a small community, small classes, teachers know you. Once you go into a bigger high school, you're not as popular. So again, I had my friend group. I was, again, very popular in my friend group. I was the pretty one. I was, somewhat talented. So I was always popular in my friend group. But I was always noticed by the popular kids because you would have classmates and they're like, "Hey, this is Min." It's like, "Oh, so you're Min." Like Alex is like, "Oh, you're Alex's friend." So I would have my Cambodian friend group, but so I would stick with the Asian, something I'm comfortable with. So I wasn't really comfortable hanging out with the Caucasian kids and the popular kids and the Brookside kids, and they're used to having their cliques. I'm not used to spreading my wings and talking to them. So I stuck with what I knew, but I had friends like Alex and you meet everyone in classes because you get split up and you meet everyone in class from all different middle schools. You meet everyone. You meet the cheerleaders, you meet the A students, you meet everyone. And when they split you up. So I met Alex in my freshman year in Spanish class. I stayed friends with him throughout my high school. He introduced me to his friends. His friends played football. They're cheerleaders, but I met cheerleaders as well on my own. We had the same classes. So I was really spreading my wings. I went from, like, how did you know about me? Like in middle school, like, I'm just here with my friends. How did you know about me? To, hey man, people are starting to know about you. Like the cheerleaders are starting to know about you. Alex's friends starting to know about you. The football players are starting to peek over and who's Min, and they're starting to know about me. And I was becoming aware of that. Like, hey, what's going on? Why are the cheerleaders looking at me? Why are Alex's friends looking at me? Like, you're A students. I'm like an F student. Why are you looking at me? It was weird to me. So I was starting to notice that people are noticing me. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. So by the end of high school, you start out shy, but you do become a high school family. It's only like 200 of you in your class. So, and then, there's the juniors and the sophomore and the freshmen, but 200 in your age group, in your class. And you really do start to know each other and become a family by senior year. So by senior year, people were starting to go to college, and I'm like, I had no idea. I had no idea that that's what you do. Very clueless. I'm just oblivious to education. Just, just minding my own business. So everyone went to college. I'm like, hey, I want to go. It's like joining a club. Like, hey, man, you want to join the drama club? I'm like, hey, I'm down. So everyone's going to college. I'm like, hey, I'm down. I'll do that too. I'm a smart kid. I can do it. So I went to Delta College afterwards. So 4 years at Lincoln High School, and then 1 year. It's a 2-year community college, but I stayed there only 1 year because I really wanted to go to a 4-year. I wanted to see what that was like. So Alex went to Pacific. He's like, I'm going to Pacific his senior year. And I wanted to go to the Academy of Arts. Alex was like, how are you going to produce a lot of works last minute? I'm like, that's true. I'll just take 1 year off. And he's like, yeah, just try that. And we stayed in contact. And I told Alex, hey, but my 1 year, hey, I'm thinking about going to Pacific because they have an art program. Alex was like, hey, hit me up. We could be roommates by sophomore year. Because again, um, when you go to college, you stay in your dorms for freshman and sophomore, and then you have to move out. So he's like, hey man, we could be roommates sophomore year. Just give me a call. I'm like, hey, yeah, for sure. And I applied to Pacific, and I got in, and I told Alex, he's like, hey, yeah, I can help you out with room and board and all that because I work at in their offices as a student worker. I'm like, oh, for sure, help me out. So he left his post and he went to go help me out in the parking lot to go sign up for roommates. And he was friends with because it was he was co-workers with students, and they were messing around, and Alex was like, hey, just fill out the forms. And I filled out, and it's like, okay, just sign me up for your roommate for next year. And I'm like, okay. And we did that. And I did not end up getting Alex, but we were in the same Grace Cavell. We were in the same dormitory, but he was, I think, on the second floor, and I was on the first floor. So they split us up. So yeah, so I spent 1 year at Delta. I worked really hard, and then I spent 3 years at University of Pacific, and I enjoyed Delta. Delta was, again, it was like high school again, and people were still getting to know each other, but I was over the getting to know each other part, and I just really wanted to dedicate myself on my schoolwork. So I wasn't trying to make friends or anything. I was just like schoolwork because I did the whole friends thing for 4 years already. I was over it. And then so that was that in 1 year, and then 3 years I was in the studio a lot. So I was keeping on with the trends. I was still over the making friends thing, even though I was still trying to apply myself. I paid for the experience, so I wanted to make friends, go to parties, but I was still in that. I'm over it. I'm over making friends. I want to really work at education because that's new to me. My whole life, 18 years, I was slacking off. I didn't care about education. Um, and when I got a taste of it at Delta College, I liked it. I liked when I was really focused and I was really hardworking. I really liked it, so I stuck to that. Though I was making friends and things like that in college, I didn't really care about it. I didn't care about friends and parties, and I wanted the experience to learn, but if we don't stay in contact, I just don't care. So I saw Pacific like as another Delta College. Everyone's trying to make friends, and I wasn't. I just didn't care. But I made friends, and again in college, it's one of those things. I started getting noticed again. It's it's weird. I didn't realize it until now. Now that I think of it, but when I was starting to get noticed, now I was more prepared. Because in high school, I was starting to get noticed. I wasn't ready. It was by senior year, and I was getting noticed. I wasn't ready for it. Right? There was no YouTube to, hey, I'm in, get to know me, or join clubs. Hey, I'm in, get to know me. There wasn't any of that happening, or I wasn't ready for it. If I was ready for it, I would have joined clubs, let people get to know me, because it looks like they want to. So by college, it's happening again. Now people are really wanting to get to know me on campus. And I'm like, I gotta find a way for them to get to know me because I can't meet everyone. I'm really busy. Everyone else is busy, and it looks like they're really scared. I try to go to parties. I try to meet people. I try to introduce myself, but it looks like they're really scared. So I created a Facebook page, right? I wasn't onto social media, but then when friends were like, "Hey, do you have Facebook? Like, how can I follow you?" Things like that. I think Shani Patel said, "Hey, do you have Facebook? Like, I'm trying to follow you." So that was when I created Facebook, and she was the first one. She's like first to post on Min's on my Facebook page. And I'm like, hey, there you go. And people, I think people started following that, and that's where they started getting to know me. It's like, oh, he's an art major. It's like, hey, Min. Like I found Min on social media. It's like, let's see what he's about. It's like, oh, he's very artsy. He's very into his school. Now they're getting to know me in a safe way for them. If they're not brave enough to introduce themselves, now they get to know me on my Facebook page. Like, oh, okay, here's what I talk about, right? If I talk to Min, I could talk about art. I could talk about how he just met Shani, right? Shani was the first to post, right? So, hey, Min, like, hey, the first girl to post on your Facebook page was Shani. I noticed that. Like, icebreakers to start a conversation. So now they have a way to introduce themselves in the conversation. So that's what I wanted. I wanted them to ease their stress and for them to get to know me. Because I didn't do that in high school. I was a little too late in high school. They weren't able to get to know me in high school. So I wanted to do that for them in college. Here, get to know me right here. Because they're a little shy. I'm not as shy. I like introducing myself. I'm very open. But it looks like they're very shy, so I wanted them to get to know me. So after my 3 years at University Pacific, I applied to Academy of Art for my master's in animation. So I went to San Francisco. I didn't end up finishing, just because I just wasn't in the mood for school, and a lot of things I just wasn't in the mood for school at that point. But I enjoyed my time at San Francisco. San Francisco is a beautiful city. Love the people there. I love the campus of Academy of Arts. I love the friends that I met there. And I love how hardworking they are in the master's program. Like, they're really hardworking. Again, we ran into the same problem of bullying, right? Now it's more intense because now they're bullying me not on how pretty I am, now on my talents, right? Now I'm getting bullied because of my talents, not just because high school I was getting bullied because I was pretty. In the master's program, I was getting bullied based on my talents. Right? They're seeing like, whoa, the teacher's starting to talk about Min a little bit, and hey, his work's starting to look good. I was starting to get bullied again. This time I can handle it. On my Facebook post, I would help them out. Like, hey, don't bully. You're being a bully. You don't know it, but you're being a bully. So I'm trying to help out the bully. I can handle it. I got tough skin and it doesn't hurt me. It's just I see them in pain. It looks like they're in pain. They don't know how to talk to me. They want to. They want to be my friend. They want to collaborate with me, but they don't know how. So I'm saying, hey, tone down the bullying and just communicate with me. Talk to me. So here's where you can find me on my Facebook page. So again, I'm trying to help people out, get to know me. So again, in San Francisco, it was happening again. People wanted to get to know me. They wanted to find me. Where's Min? Where's Min? Where's your socials? Where's your socials? Like, do you have Instagram? Are you on Twitter? Like, what do you got? Oh, Facebook. You have Facebook. Like, let's see what you're about. So they found my page. They can find my Facebook page and get to know me there if they're too scared to talk to me in class. So I had my Facebook page open for that reason, and I started using it to help people. Like, hey, look, I'm struggling too. Right? I'm not perfect. I struggle. My struggles are in education and in class. Classes are hard. Animation's hard. And they get to see my struggles. Like, hey, Min's human. You know, he's not this beautiful model and his life is perfect. Look, he's struggling. He's human. He's just like us. That's what I wanted to show. So I started using my Facebook page to relate to everyone so they won't be afraid of me. So that was my ultimate goal, was to use either Facebook or if I get into film or anything like that, to use it to show people that I'm human. I struggle just like you. You can approach me. You can get to know me. That was my goal. It didn't pan out just because I took a break from school. I've been on a break for 11, 15 years. I haven't gone back to it. I lost contact with all my friends and everyone. Now I'm just, um, I don't know what I want to do with my life. But I was on a trend of helping people. So if I was helping my friends and I was helping a city, right? I was helping a whole campus. First, I was helping high school, a whole campus at Pacific, and then a whole city in San Francisco. I can help the world, is how I see it. So if I can get back on my feet, I think I can help the world out. So that's basically my story. Um, and my goal is still for people to get to know me if they want to. And I'll find ways, write books, make movies, make video games. I can find ways for them to get to know me and to get them a little less shy, because it looks like the world's a little shy, but they have good hearts, they have good minds, and if they're confident, if they can build the confidence to talk to me, they can build the confidence to talk to each other, is my ultimate goal. So so yeah, that's my story. And again, that's what I'm hoping to do in the world, is for them to build confidence through me. And then when they build confidence through me, they can build confidence in their own lives. So so that's my story.